So I want to start off with the people that were protesting, and I'll say that lightly, setting up a roadblock on the I-5 in Seattle. So they got hit, a couple of, I think it was ladies, got hit by a car speeding through them and very seriously hurt, if not one might not make it. So very sad. I don't know if these protesters, and I call that lightly, understand really what they're standing for, what their meaning is, and what's going on. So we've had other incidences where protesters have shot into cars, one in Provo, where the guy had to go to the hospital, non-life threatening. Another one where it was a lawyer that got charged, and I think it was with attempted murder. That other person was very seriously hurt. This is very serious stuff. So the people that are going out to these protests have to be cautious on what they're doing, because you have people getting dragged out of cars, beaten severely, and people are scared. So if you're setting up a roadblock, you might have good intentions, but the people you were with might not have those same good intentions. And really, this Black Lives Matter movement is a Marxist movement. It wants to defund the police, defund the military. Basically, you're making America very vulnerable, I would say, to the Chinese. So China is pushing its ground with India, with Hong Kong, with Taiwan, with Vietnam, and basically everybody that surrounds their borders. This is a very dangerous time. So TikTok is actually taking what you put into your phone and bringing it back to China. So you could be saving your passwords, and now the Chinese government has the passwords to your emails, to whatever other accounts. This is all proven through the new iPhone app, which shows you what's being saved and what's being brought forth. You can find probably other videos that'll explain that. Reddit now has been basically bought out by China. It has a $300 million stake in Reddit. So the social media platforms, Facebook, you have Ryan Hartwig that says that the whole Facebook is left-leaning. They're scrubbing out conservative values, conservative thoughts. So we're really at a battle with freedom of speech here, and what's, what could play out as a play for a communist takeover. And some people are like, no, this could never happen. This is happening. Indoctrination is being brought up through schools, from kindergarten to grade 12, and then of course we've known it for many years that the universities are bringing this. I just watched a great video with Ayan Hirsi Ali on Uncommon Knowledge, and she is someone that has come from a tyrannical country and went to the Netherlands and then went to the US, and puts the finger on the pulse on this. I think either if you're left and or you're right, or you're in the middle, I think you need to really talk or listen to what she has to say, because this is basically the fundamentals of what's happening through the BLM movement, and what we really have to watch out for. I question some of these quote-unquote protesters again, if they've even visited any other countries and seen how they work, or if they look at like a communist government like China or Cuba, or they talk to people that have come from communist countries and really understand what that really means for society, because it's really not good. America is a balance of rights and power, and that's why you have two parties, and for sure the two parties must be able to get along and have better dialogue, or we're in for a serious trouble in the future. And so this BLM movement is talking about slavery and, you know, the injustifications from there. Of course, I think in Canada we have more of that to do with the Native First Nations people, and you know what colonization has done to them, how they split up the country or the people, and you know, forced Western civilization on them. And of course this goes through generations, so I'm not playing that lightly. There definitely is an aftermath of what that does to a people, a culture, and what's moving on from there. So, but we also have to look at these big tech companies, because there's a app that you can download for sale that is both on Google and Apple. And I watched a documentary on what's happening in Kuwait, and essentially Philippines people are being forced into slavery. They go in under the guides of a company, and then once that they get to a house, then they're basically sold to the next homeowners through this for sale app that again is on Google or Apple. So we really got to keep everybody accountable, have better dialogue, understand what everybody's doing in society and what implications that has to be met in bringing on a better, just society for the Western civilization. Because really, we have something that's great. People come from all over the world to come to Canada, to America, and it's not because they think that this is a really bad place. They're coming from places that are much, much worse than we could imagine here in Western Canada or Western civilization. So I hope that everybody starts to have better dialogue and a better understanding of the ramifications of the actions that we're partaking in today. I encourage you to watch the Ayan Hirsi Ali on Uncommon Knowledge. I'll leave a video link to that, and if your comments are welcome. Thank you.